to show off. My buddy Timothy finally is getting a build headed his way. So he liked one of the builds I did before, but wanted to change it up just a little bit and get some red in the mix. So we have got an Amphibia mod. This is, I believe it's a 367 dial. So it's a black dial with gold accents on it with a black date wheel. The build I had before was an antique bronze cerakoted case on it. This is a 150 case that we've done in that antique bronze. Gold PVD rotor on it with a black ghosted ceramic insert. He wanted to throw some red into the mix, so we've got some red pointers with the stock red secondhand. Then to go with the with the black with red stitch leather, we did a black cerakoted anchor engraved crown. As I referenced, black leather strap with very, very thick strap, painted edges on it, red stitching on there, and then we did a matching antique bronze cerakoted clasp to go with the case. And then on the back, we've got a large window exhibition caseback, gilded rotor, and that's the build. So this is his first build. So since it's his first build, we got to go over a couple things. These have a non-clickable bezel. They just are held on with a tension ring. But with that Cerakote, it makes it extra tight. So you shouldn't accidentally bump it off the number setting. But you can turn it left, you can turn it right. There is no clicking. And when you go to take pictures, as you can see, this ceramic insert is a fingerprint magnet. So if you touch that, just make sure you buff that off a little bit before you take a picture, because they will. There's no escaping the fingerprint on that. So automatic mechanical, you can wind it, you can wear it, you can put it in a watch winder, but if it's dead or you're not going to be very active, you want to make sure you wind it a little bit before you put it on, just so you don't lose time throughout the day. How you do that is you back the crown off the threads until you hear it and feel it clicking. Okay, it's been clicking a while. At that point, you can wind, and a wind is a turn away from you. Turning it this way doesn't do anything, but it's a lot easier to keep your spacing. Just go back and forth. If you do this for 4 or 5 seconds before you put it on, even if you're not very active, you will keep time, because you're mixing that with the slight movements of your rotor back here, going back and forth and putting some wind to it. If you do it for something closer to 20 seconds, you're going to max out your power reserve on there. It's a 31-hour power reserve. You cannot overwind it. You can wind it all day if you like. You will not hurt anything. So you pull it out to the one and only click. You can now set your time. You'll notice there was not a click setting for your for your date window. Sorry, as I was getting ready to say that, text popped through and blocked half my screen. I like to do that whenever I'm doing videos. So what you do is you'll set your time. Actually, you'll if you're not on the right date and you need to get it on the right date, what is today's date? Okay, Google, what's today's date?
It is Sunday, August 22nd, 2020.
Oh, it's the 22nd. We don't want to have to advance this 30 days. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go backwards a little bit. So how you would advance your date, basically, we're going to let this kind of die to catch back up. Unless you want to advance that 30 days, you can. So how this works, how the quick setting on that works, is once you advance it to midnight, you're going to see that it adjusts to the 24th. If you go back to 8 o'clock and then back to that midnight, it will advance to 25. I would like to show this to you, but you can, looking through my other videos, anything that has a date wheel on it, you can see. Basically, if we move it forward a day, then we're 2 days into the future. We're going to have to go 29 days of back and forth on there. But there's a good chance you will just catch up with time, with it dying or something like that. But you just go back and forth between that 8 and 24, and that's how you advance it. 8 and 12 to advance that date wheel. If you are ever advancing it and you see it goes to 24, 25, 26, and then it stops. It makes like a click, but it doesn't advance. Go ahead and do a 24-hour advance to make sure that that date wheel is still aligned. Sometimes it'll like bind a little bit, so just advance it the normal way and then go back to your 8 to 12. I've only had it happen once, but the one time I had it happen to me, I did the 8 and 12 again, and you had to take the whole thing apart and correct the date wheel. It was like bound, and then that like didn't give it a full, like, I don't know, full kick forward or something to that effect. I have no idea. But that said, if that ever happens, just do that full 24 hour and then go back to your 8 to 12. But that is your build, man. Hope you like it. It actually came out pretty nice. I was a little worried with the red kicking in there, but it actually looks pretty nice. Okay, Google, what's time is it?
It's 5:07 p.m.
5:07 p.m. Push it right back over and thread it down. Also, you have a wobble crown. I didn't go over that, but if you notice that crown moved back and forth a little bit in your hand, that has essentially like a ball joint kind of in there, and it's going to roll with the pressure. So when you're pushing and prying on it, you're not bending your stem, you're not putting any adverse pressure on your movement. It is just rolling a little bit. If you don't like it, just hold it back a little bit. Just kind of put some tension on it and keep setting it. That's it in a nutshell. So with every build, you're going to get matching beads. Up to you whether you wear those or not. This one's since this is a box talk build, I'm going to use one of my old slider boxes. Have not used one of these in a long time. But these just slide. Of course, my phone doesn't focus, but they just slide out from here. So you being in Alaska, you shouldn't have to worry about it getting real hot and getting swelled up where the thing doesn't even want to go on, which is what I have to worry about from time to time. I go to put these on or take them off, and they get super tight, but that one's fine. So also with your build, you're going to have watch cleaner. This is good on all glass and metal parts, so everything here in the center, non-streaking, non-toxic, non-residue. You're going to have some leather conditioner. This keeps this leather strap perfectly soft. Use a tiny bit if you ever need to use it on the back and front. Let it soak in and then remove any excess. But just try not to have any excess. This should last you as long as the strap, even if it just being a half an ounce. And then also in here, you're going to have some Novus 2. This is just from Amazon repackaged. It's basically like Polywatch, but we repackage them. Actually, you can buy a lot of it for small cost if you can repackage it yourself. But basically, it's a fine scratch remover. This is an acrylic glass, and you can scratch it if you do, no big deal. Put a tiny bit on there. Buff against it using your included microfiber. Go across that scratch back and forth until you have solidified that scratch. And only use what you need, because the rest of it you're just pushing all around the place. It's only going to fill that scratch, and the rest of it's not going to penetrate into your glass. So just use what you need and buff it out. And then thank you, Tim, for ordering this. I am throwing in something cool for you. I've had these for a while. I have not advertised them, but I only had one of these straps, and I remembered I happen to have a matching wallet and matching watch roll. So you'll have yourself a matching wallet. I think my logo is there. It is hard to see, but it's in there. And then on the watch roll, it's just easier for me to slide that off because there's no watch in there. I need to just set this back just a little bit. And logo up in the top for watch roll. I think you will really like that. Super, super soft. If somebody wants one of these, I do sell these for $60 each. So if you happen to want one of these, let me know. I do them in black with orange stitching, red stitching, blue stitching, white stitching, silver, and black. But if you're like, I really like light blue, I can do that too. But just happen to have that matched with that strap. So I'm going to throw that in there for you, man. I appreciate you. And your built-in warranty cards will come a little bit later. I ordered them, but my guy is out of cards. And those aluminum cards that you can laser take a minute to get in. So I will get that out to you soon, buddy. I appreciate your time. Thank you for your support. And if you want me to build you something custom and unique, reach out and I'll see what I can do. And if you want to continue to see videos like this, like and subscribe as I put them up all the time. Thanks for your time, guys.